Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am Nana Firdaus, and on today's tutorial, I'll be showing you how to cut and sew this beautiful tulip hijab. Without further ado, let's get started. For this tutorial, I'll be using 2.5 yards of lycra fabric, but you can use any stretchy fabric of your choice. And for the taping, I'll be using this leftover fabric that I have, but you can use a bias tape for yours. So the first thing you will do is fold your fabric into two this way. Then I trimmed off my edges, and from the folded edge, I came down by 11 inches, which is half of my face circumference. My face circumference is 22 inches. So I came down by 11 inches, which is half of my face circumference. Then for the overlapping, I want it to be 7 inches. So that is what I'm marking here. So I'll be marking from the 11 inch mark. I came down by 7 inches, which is for the overlapping. So the total front length is 38 inches. For my back, I'll be using 42 inches. I marked 42 inches for my back, and for the side I'll be using 40 inches. So what you do now is from the 7-inch mark that you made earlier, you'll be curving it out towards your side measurement, then you link it to the back measurement this way. So after shaping my hijab out this way, I notched the 11 inches mark I made earlier, which is half of my face circumference. Then I notched the midpoint where I'll be placing the midpoint of my cap on. After that, you measure the circumference of your hijab this way, so you will know how many inches you need for your bias tape. So after measuring it, my hijab circumference is 70 inches, but remember that it is folded into two, so that will be 70 times 2. So I will need a bias tape of 140 inches. For my cap, I want my cap to be a bit padded, so I'll be cutting 2 caps together. I'll fold it into 4 this way, and for the cap height, I'll be using 4 inches, and for the width, I'll be using 7 inches. Then I'll trim it out this way. After that, I'll be notching the midpoint. So for my taping, I'll be cutting out fabric that is 140 inches long and 1.5 inches wide. But since my fabric is not that long, I'll be cutting several pieces that I'll be joining together to give me that 140 inches I need. So that's what I'm doing here. And we are done with the cutting. So now to the sewing aspect, I joined all my strips together to give me the 140 inches that I need. So to place your bias taping on your main hijab, you start from one edge of the 7-inch mark that you made earlier, and you'll be sewing towards the second side of the 7-inch mark. So what you do is you start by placing your hijab fabric with the right side facing up. Then you'll be placing your bias on it with the right side facing the right side of your hijab. And the folded edge of your bias will be facing inwards towards your main hijab body and not outwards this way. So that after flipping it over, it will be facing the other way. And make sure that when you are sewing on it, you are sewing a bit closer to the folded edge, but you are still leaving a little bit of space that will be showing. Once you are done sewing your bias tape on your main hijab, you will weave the rough edges. So after weaving the rough edges, this is what I have. I'll be flipping my bias tape to the wrong side and top stitching on it. After top stitching on it, you iron it so it will straighten out. Once you are done top stitching, this is what you will have. And now it's time to fix your cap. So to fix your cap, you fold it into 2 this way. Then I looked for the midpoint where I notched it earlier, where I said I'll be fixing my hijab cap to. Then I pinned it down. So this is the 11-inch mark that I notched earlier, and this is the 7-inch mark that I made for the overlapping. So what you do is that 11-inch mark that you marked earlier, you'll be overlapping it this way, where one part of your 7-inch mark will be going inside and the other part of the 7 inches that you added will be outside this way, will be on your fabric. So I'll be pinning down the notch part, which is the 11-inch mark, and I'll be pinning down the ends of my 7-inch mark, the one that is on it and the one that is inside my face circumference. So this is what your face opening looks like. And now it's time to fix your hijab cap to it. Before fixing your hijab cap, you can choose to sew from one overlap to the other, but since I've pinned it down, I'll be fixing my cap on it this way. Remember I said earlier that I cut two hijab caps together because I want it to be a bit padded. So make sure that the outer hijab cap has its right side outside. So to place your hijab cap on your main hijab body, you place the notch point on your hijab cap on the notch point on your main hijab and pin it together. The part where you pinned earlier before overlapping, that's where you'll be placing the notch part of your hijab cap on, and you align your hijab cap on the face circumference this way till you get to the end of your hijab cap. So after aligning all the fabrics together, you sew your hijab cap down on it this way. After joining your hijab cap to your main hijab body, this is what you have. So to close the neckline, you flip the overlap to the wrong side this way, and you'll be sewing from this point to the other point to close it up. So after closing it up, you flip it back to the right side, and this is what you have. And your tulip hijab is ready. All you have to do is weave the rough edges and your hijab is ready. This is the final look of this tulip hijab. Don't forget to send pictures of your own recreations to me via any of my social media handles. If you found this tutorial video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe to the channel as your own little way of appreciating the hard work that goes into making these free tutorial videos. If you have any questions, suggestions or tips you would like to share, kindly drop them in the comment section below. Have a great day. Ma salam.